Good morning. So, this is Tasha, my digital diary. I am here going to be having a procedure, the very procedure that actually my grandfather walked into the same thing years ago and never came out alive. And so, this morning is kind of little anxiousness going on. I am very grateful for the doctor because his schedule was really, really booked until the new year, but he was very sensitive to my desire to want to know what's going on prior to the holidays. So he's squeezing me in on his lunch. I have been on clear liquids for 2 days, so I cannot wait to have real food after this. He's ruling out colon cancer. That's something that he's concerned about. I have not claimed it. Have I been having spouts of scare and fear? Of course I have. But my faith is just stronger than my doubts, and that's because I have a very small and powerful, unique prayer circle that allows me to process my fears in a healthy way. Sometimes the most well-intended people, the minute you tell them you're scared and you're a Christian, they start throwing all these scriptures at you, which is very, very needed. But um, it's also nice to just have a candid conversation about those fears. And so I'm grateful for the network. I'm encouraged today, and I'm not claiming this. That's why you see me doing my digital journal early prior to, because by faith I know that that is not the case. I don't have sickle cell, the whole severe anemia thing. They're trying to figure out why this blood is dropping. The infusion hasn't kicked in yet. Quite frankly, I do have sickle C trait, but that's nothing related to this. So um, that's basically they want to make sure that there's either not colon cancer going on or ulcers. So I don't have any other signs about the other stuff, but we'll see. And then at the end, it could just be a genetic thing where, just genetically speaking, we, as you know, in our family line, just don't hold iron. So that would be the conclusion after they rule out all this other stuff. But so that's my digital journey for the morning, digital journal for the morning. Um, and so I am planning to come out on top. Very, very impactful things when you have these kind of conversations with specialists. Definitely have a different added take on life in general. And so I am grateful for this lesson because there's some things that's going to be manifested in the new year. Even before the new year, some things leading up to all of this has really got me thinking a little bit different and understanding the plan and the purpose for my life. And so some things have to happen. I understand that. And so I'm glad I'm in a point in my life where I can kind of understand that and not like freak out and get all upset and whatever. But I can say when you have something like this going on, you do start to think like, whenever the Lord do give you your wings, like how would this play out for your family in terms of your kids? So looking around, I was just like, wow. It's one of those things where, you hope that people would step up and take on your kids in terms of support and spiritual guidance. We don't have a whole bunch of network to really count on for that. So as mine are getting older, you know, I've always tried to raise them in a way to know how to thrive, after we get our wings and stuff like that, because, parents, sometimes we spoil our kids and ill-equip them, and so then they're left not knowing how to move through the world. And so those are some things that I recognize that I have to better equip them for anything. So those are kind of reflections that I've been able to take a look at, and I'm grateful for them because they have gone back to the word that was put in them through this process, sending me scriptures in the morning, and their prayer life. So I'm just a firm believer that yes, our kids may walk away, but that word is down in them, and the scripture tells us that. train up a child. You guys all know that's scripture, so it's true, you know. There's some testing that will come for all of us, but at the core, the kids, and we know what to do. We know the right thing to do. We know our power source is the Lord. And the main thing is don't panic and hold on to that word. So thank you for hanging out with me for my digital time. And I'm here super early, so I had this time to do some reflection. And so you guys be encouraged. I am encouraged right now. And I know that things will be well. And I thank each and every one of you who came, picked me up, took, swooped up groceries. And that's the thing, people that care for people, like, you guys know I'm like a chronic server, if that's even a good combination of words. But for our personality type, you just have to show up and do it because we won't ask. I'm not prideful or anything, but it's just when I do ask and people, tend to have to fit folks in their schedule because they social things, that's just their schedule. I can't be mad at them. So thank you for those who make a sacrifice, because when you help a friend, a strong friend, I know I'm coined as a strong person, not always strong, but I do agree that I am equipped to take on tougher things in the way the Lord wired me, but it doesn't mean that I'm exempt from life pain. Definitely not. But I just want to say I am grateful for those of you who made sacrifices in your serving the needs that I've had to have in the last month. You guys know who you are, and sacrificing mean, well, we all know what that means, but what it showed up to me is I had people that bust U-turns, that, left their meetings and came to town even. Some of you, you were just kind of pointing out that your social schedule was more important, which is fine. You laid it out there. There's nothing I can do with that. But I thank you for being honest about that, because then I can take that information and do what I need to do with it in terms of who I can count on. No salt, it's just the power of communication. So if that's your deal, that's your deal. But I do want to say, if you're the type that you go around telling people that call on me, I'll help you, and then that person call you and you're like, oh, I'm on my way to a party, I'm on my way to this and that. It's one thing, I don't know, I can go on a tangent with that, but just be mindful that if you really call to serve, do just that. I mean, serving in ministry, we know it's not about convenience in your social calendar. It's about making a sacrifice. So shout out to you guys who really, truly make a sacrifice. Not just for me, but just in general. You make sacrifices in your work, your life space, but hopefully you make a sacrifice for yourself and meeting those needs that you may need as well. I just hate that sometimes about me. When I'm talking, I'm always just on the pipeline of encouraging somebody. I don't even do that intentionally, but I just noticed that I'll start talking and then it end up being some encouraging moment. My kids like, Mom, stop. I don't know. That's just who I am. I don't know. But anyway, so I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Okay? And be helpers without restriction, please.